China and Canada and Mexico don't actually pay the tariffs. The American company that imports their goods pays the tariff, which they, of course, pass down to us. And then we have $40 avocados as a result. This could send inflation through the roof. You know, Mexico makes all kinds of things. They make cars, they make trucks, they make instruments, they make tequila. They make the best damn late-night sidekicks.
We obviously talked about laying out the facts, talking about how the intense and effective connections between our two countries flow back and forth. We talked about some of the challenges that we can work on together. It was a good call. This is something that we can do, laying out the facts, moving forward in constructive ways. This is a relationship that we know takes a certain amount of working on, and that's what we'll do.
Meanwhile, the tariff of Nottingham, Donald Trump is making good on those tariffs he promised. Trump said that on his first day in office. He's planning to issue an executive order that will call for a 25% tax on all products that enter the country from Mexico and Canada, and a 10% additional tariff on products from China. So now, if you want to purchase a tie from the Donald J. Trump collection, you better get it immediately, or it's going to cost an extra 10%. Almost everyone who knows anything about economics believes these tariffs to be a terrible idea. Some say this is the dumbest thing he's come up with since Don Jr. The problem is...
One of the really important things is that we be all pulling together on this. The Team Canada approach is what works. That's where, putting aside partisanship, that's where I reached out immediately to Doug Ford to agree with him that we would have a First Ministers meeting this week to talk about the United States. Talked with François Legault and some other premiers as well. There's work to do, but we know how to do it.
He can't help himself. The violent and treasonous insurrection I directed was the biggest violent and treasonous insurrection in history. Be honest, is this because of Drake? Whoever would have guessed that the mail-order steak salesman who declared bankruptcy 6 times would be so bad with money? I don't know. Trump was the recipient of the first ever Champion for Freedom Award, which was given by a group of Republican fundraisers. Trump strolled in his golf clothes and had these kind words for his old friend Mitch.
Trump called Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell a, quote, dumb son of a bitch, unquote.
Well, I don't know. That doesn't sound like my President Trump. According to those in attendance, Trump also mocked McConnell's wife, the former Transportation Secretary, Elaine Chao. He said, I hired his wife. Did he ever say thank you? And he also very falsely claimed that the crowd that stormed the Capitol had over 1 million people. I just want to remind you, you do something no one else in the country does. Every day you wake up and break the record for being the oldest president ever, okay? It turns out they're lighting a lot more than just the national Christmas tree on Capitol Hill. According to a new study, Washington, D.C. has the second highest cannabis consumption in the United States. And we're just about 2 months away from that going up to number 1. Good evening, folks. Tonight we're tackling the latest international drama starring President Trump. He's threatened Canada, yes, Canada. You know, the place with maple syrup mounties and the nicest people on earth? It's like threatening a golden retriever for wagging its tail. Mr. President, care to explain?
Jimmy, let me tell you, Trudeau is a disaster. People say to me, sir, you've done more for Canada than Trudeau ever has, and it's true. Canada loves me, but Trudeau, weak leader, very weak. I'm protecting America, and that means standing up to Canada.
Standing up to Canada? Don, it's Canada, not Cobra Kai. Trudeau isn't exactly sweeping the leg. What's next? Sanctions on Tim Hortons because their coffee's too polite.
Jimmy, it's not just about coffee. Trudeau's been disrespectful, total disrespect. He's working against me. People are saying he's colluding with Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and even Obama. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, Jimmy. You wouldn't believe it?
Colluding. Don, Trudeau's biggest scandal is wearing goofy socks to summits. Meanwhile, your scandals are the stuff Netflix documentaries are made of. Let me guess, you think Trudeau and Obama are planning a coup to hockey rink.
Jimmy, Trudeau thinks he's so smart. He calls me names behind my back. Danielle Smith even says there's a personal animus between us. You know what that means? He's jealous. Very jealous. I'm a winner, and he can't handle it.
Personal animus? Don, you don't need a political analyst to know why Trudeau doesn't like you. You've called him everything from Two-Face to Little Justin. Frankly, I'm impressed you haven't tried to trademark Tiny Trudeau.
He started it, Jimmy. Trudeau's been trying to undermine me. Canada's been taking advantage of us for years. NAFTA, terrible deal. USMCA, my deal, best deal. But Trudeau, He wanted to ruin it. That's why I'm standing up to him.
NFTA. Don, Canada isn't taking advantage of us. They're sending us bacon and poutine, not nuclear codes. Meanwhile, you're threatening them like they're plotting to annex Montana.
Jimmy, you don't get it. I'm fighting for America. Trudeau's weak. He's more focused on climate change than protecting his own country. And now he's dragging Alberta's Danielle Smith into this. She knows I'm right.
Danielle Smith? Don, she said your feud with Trudeau is a concern. That's Canadian for this guy's a hot mess. If Alberta had a state motto, it'd be sorry, but you're wrong. You can't even win over the province that loves oil and cowboy hats.
Wrong, Jimmy. Danielle knows I'm a strong leader. Trudeau, he's working with the radical left. Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and Obama, they're all in on it. Canada's becoming a problem, and I'm the only one who can stop it.
Canada's a problem. Don, the only problem Canada's causing is how good they make us look in comparison. Trudeau isn't conspiring with Kamala and Obama. He's probably too busy shoveling his own driveway.
Mark my words, Jimmy. Trudeau's days are numbered. I'm going to hold him accountable. Elon Musk even agrees with me. He says Canada needs my leadership.
Elon Musk, of course, he agrees with you. He's probably just trying to sell Teslas to Mounties. What's your next move, Don? Invade Canada and rename it a Trumpland North?
You'll see, Jimmy. In 2028, people will say Trump was right about everything. Canada will be thanking me for my tough love. I'm making America great and keeping Canada in check.
Don, if history ever says you were right, it'll be because you accidentally misquoted someone smarter than you. Thanks for coming, Mr. President. And next time, try not to pick fights with the country that invented universal health care and actual politeness. Folks, tonight we dive deeper into President Trump's latest international crisis. This time it's Canada, our friendly neighbor to the north. Apparently, the president is ramping up threats against Justin Trudeau. I guess threatening Canada is what happens when you can't win an argument with Mexico. Mr. President, care to defend yourself?
Jimmy, let me just say, no one is tougher on Canada than me. Trudeau? Total disaster. People tell me all the time, sir, thank you for standing up to Justin. He's weak, Jimmy, very weak. I'm strong, the strongest.
Trudeau's weak. Don, this guy can balance a national budget while climbing mountains. Meanwhile, your biggest flex is holding a Diet Coke in one hand and a cheeseburger in the other. What exactly is Trudeau doing to threaten the United States?
Jimmy, he's trying to take advantage of us. His trade policies, his climate change nonsense, it's all designed to make America look bad. And Danielle Smith? She gets it. She's worried about Trudeau, and I don't blame her. He's colluding with Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and of course Obama.
Colluding? Don, Trudeau is colluding with Kamala, Walz, and Obama? Are they meeting in igloos, plotting to outdo your latest scandal? Because last I checked, Trudeau's biggest crime is overusing the word sorry.
Jimmy, you laugh, but I'm serious. Trudeau's policies are killing America. He's making Canada a safe haven for radical leftists. They're flooding across the border. I'm the only one who can stop it. People are saying it's true.
Safe haven for radicals? Don, the only thing flooding across the border are Canadian geese, and they're not exactly holding secret Antifa meetings. You're acting like Trudeau's up there recruiting Mounties to overthrow you?
Jimmy, you don't get it. Canada's turning into a socialist nightmare, and Trudeau's leading the charge. He's cozying up to China, and he's taking orders from globalists. I'm protecting America. Danielle Smith agrees with me. She's a smart woman.
Danielle Smith, the Premier of Alberta. Don, she's only concerned because you and Trudeau arguing is like watching two toddlers fight over a snowball. And globalists? Who are these globalists, Don? Do they meet in secret under the Northern Lights?
Jimmy, I know you think this is funny, but I take this very seriously. Trudeau's trying to undermine me. He's probably working on new trade deals to hurt us. That's why I'm going to be tougher on Canada than anyone ever has been.
Tougher on Canada. Don, they're Canada? Not the Death Star? You're acting like Trudeau's about to launch an invasion. What are you going to do? Put sanctions on their maple syrup supply. Good luck explaining that to your pancake-loving supporters.
Jimmy, you'll see my policies work. Even Elon Musk thinks I'm right. He says I'm the only one who truly understands the problem with Trudeau.
Elon Musk, of course, he's on your side. He's probably just hoping you'll name a Space Force base after him. What's your big plan, Don? Build a wall on the Canadian border and make them pay for it with hockey sticks?
You joke, but I'm serious.